It's the National Football League on EA Sports, where division rivals will clash in the AFC South. It's the Indianapolis Colts and the Houston Texans, and it's all up next.
We are pleased, as always, to be bringing you coverage of the National Football League on EA Sports. Today, it's an intra-division matchup in the AFC South, as it'll be the Indianapolis Colts taking on the Houston Texans. Brandon Gaudin joined, as always, by Charles Davis. CD, it's been a tough few years here in Houston. 4-4-3. Those are their win totals the last 3 seasons. But in is D'Amico Ryans as head coach. What do you think he brings to the table?
And it's interesting you brought up the number 3 because D'Amico Ryans is the 3rd head coach in 3 seasons for this team. What he brings to the table: toughness, organization, and hope. He wanted to be the head coach of the Houston Texans, the team he played for.
Meanwhile, for the Colts, CD, things change quickly in this league. Look no further than the position of Colts quarterback. In 3 years, they've gone from Carson Wentz to Matt Ryan, and now time to start fresh with Anthony Richardson.
And what a bold move from a Colts team that we're used to seeing bring in veterans to play quarterback. But they have a good offensive line if it plays to its potential, a terrific runner, and some receivers on the perimeter who can make plays.
And we are underway from NRG Stadium in Houston. And Dallas Flowers going to bring this out of the end zone. And he's able to get this across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down officially at the 21. So here come the Colts to take over for the first time, and leading the way is the number 4 pick in the draft out of Florida. Here's Anthony Richardson.
The moment Anthony Richardson's name was announced as the 4th pick in the 2023 draft, it changed the landscape and probably our viewing habits with the NFL. He is must-see viewing. Tremendous athlete, not a lot of experience, but the ceiling as high as it possibly can be.
Richardson going right to the air. And his first pass is incomplete. Alec Pierce, the intended receiver, but it'll be 2nd down. Richardson to throw off play action. And the timing a bit off that time as that one falls to the ground.
Man coverage is certainly a staple of their defense, and it's built for plays like that, forcing that incompletion.
So 2 incompletions have led him to an early 3rd and 10. On 3rd down, here's Richardson. He'll drop this underneath the moss, and he'll get this to the 23, but that'll be well short of what he needed. Call it a pickup of 3, and also now likely a punt on their opening drive.
How about that strategy there, Brandon? 3rd down, they just said, we've got faith in our tacklers. We'll give you the short stuff, and just decided to protect the sticks. So every time I hear fans telling me tackling's not a part of the game anymore, plays like that, I can clip and save and show them you have to tackle well if you want to be a good defense.
They'll call it a punt of 44 yards. The return was for 7. And the Texans will take over with a 1st and 10. So here are the Texans now with a fresh face at quarterback, the 2nd overall pick from Ohio State, C.J. Stroud.
In only 2 seasons, Stroud showed all he needed to at Ohio State. All-American, Heisman finalist, program records galore. He looked every bit like the number 1 overall pick. He went number 2, but Houston is thrilled to have him.
So good starting field position for him here as they come up 1st and 10 at their own 37. A shotgun snap to Stroud. A short one going to be taken in here by Schultz. And a 5-yard gain gets him to the 42. We're scoreless after 1. Ready for the second quarter from Houston. It's the Texans in possession of the football. 2nd and 5. As they've got it as we resume action. Throwing now is Stroud. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Brown. Now the Texans will burn the first of their timeouts as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. Here now, 3rd and a yard. Third and 1, Stroud. Now they set up the screen. That's complete. The Colts going to use the first of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. The Texans send the punter out. Back deep for the Colts, Isaiah McKenzie. This is away, but boy, headed straight for the sidelines. And no return here. Where will they spot it? They say just outside the 20-yard line. The Colts going to take over now late in this first half. And they've got just under 50 seconds, so time enough to try to work their way downfield if they so choose. First and 10, it's Richardson. And his throw is going to be incomplete.
That was a classic example of trying to run with the ball without securing the catch. He was thinking about those rack yards instead of making the catch first and then taking off.
Here's 2nd and 10. Second and 10, back to the air with Richardson. This one completes Alec Pierce. And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. Now the Colts going to burn the second of their timeouts as it'll come with 36 ticks to go in half number 1.
That's what it is. That's what it is.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Now Richardson. Finds his big tight end, Mo Alley-Cox. A big play there just before halftime. 43 yards.
And the offense is saying to itself right now, if only they were all this easy, because he was wide open. And once he made the catch, plenty of room to work his way downfield. That was a breakdown on the defensive side of the ball, one that they want to fix immediately.
Now a timeout signaled for, and they'll get it with 10 seconds to go before halftime. So even though it's first down, here's the field goal unit on now to try to get 3 before halftime. From the right hash, it's a 38-yard attempt. And Gay knocks this one through. And we have action on the scoreboard just before halftime. It's 3-0. So they're able to end that drive with 3 points in this one-possession ball game.
And ideally, you want to end every drive with points. Most quarterbacks would tell you, let's end it with a kick, right? A PAT, that's number 1. Field goal you'll take. Punts, you really don't want to do that. In this case, they'll take the field goal and get prepared for the rest of the game.
Maybe time for one play on offense. 7 seconds to go in the half as the kick is away. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. Houston's offense already at the line, set to get going. And they'll have time for one play. That's it. 3 seconds to go before intermission. Meanwhile, Stroud's throw complete into the hands of Schultz here. And he gets this up across the 35 before he's out of bounds. So we've hit halftime. Just a field goal separating these two teams at the break. As we'll get you over to Orlando, where standing by is Jonathan Coachman. He has our EA Sports halftime report. If you missed the first half, there's not much to get you caught up on. Just the lone field goal accounting for the entirety of the scoring. A 3-0 game to this point, as both defenses have been strong so far. All right, Coach, thanks. Yeah, both teams likely to make some changes in what's been a closely fought battle to this point. Just one field goal and a tightly played first half as we resume action here in quarter number 3. And he'll be tackled just shy of the 25. The Texans getting set here to take over again on offense. And they're on the losing end of things here. What do they need to do if they're going to turn things around, CD?
Partner, it's awfully close to being a must drive here, I think, for them, because I think a touchdown here in this opening drive is something they absolutely have to have. They only managed 3 points in the first half. They know that's not going to get it done. So without adding pressure to them, they already know the stakes. They need a touchdown here to get things started.
A man coming off a great rookie year, it's Dameon Pierce. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down.
I have to think a major focus of the halftime meetings had to be figuring out how to create space for the running game to get operating.
Well, what you pointed out to me at half seems accurate. That line has struggled to sustain blocks.
Yeah, I would agree with that totally. They've got to focus on staying on their double teams at the first level, make sure that block's secured before they slide off and try and chip someone at the second level.
A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete.
A lot of times it's that first read that you have. Maybe you get it in pre-snap, and he locked in on his target, but he was covered quite well, and that one's incomplete.
They come up now 3rd and 5 following the incomplete pass. From the gun on 3rd down, here's Stroud. He had a man open, but he missed him, and it's incomplete.
And so many times we look at the opening drive of the third quarter as a tone setter, and many coaches do emphasize it. And that's a strong performance there defensively to force incompletion and, more importantly, force a quick punting situation.
The Texans send the punter out as he'll punt it away for the second time. Oh, a heck of a move.
Man.
35 yards that time on the punt. And the Colts will go on offense here, 1st and 10. The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. And, Charles, we've seen almost 3 full quarters now, and neither offense can really get it going. Neither has hit the end zone, and neither side seemingly can make that big play.
But the game hasn't been devoid of action because these two defenses, they've taken over and they've slugged it out. But I think you're exactly right. We're at that stage of the game now where one of these offenses, if they make a big play, that could be the difference.
Protection certainly going to need to be a bit better here on 2nd and 16. Richardson. He's got the tight end, Mo Alley-Cox. Now a timeout called for by the defense. And that's going to leave him with just 1 timeout remaining still in the third quarter. We'll see if that comes back to haunt him. We'll be back. And this will probably be the last play of the quarter. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. So he couldn't hook up. His time is now run out on this third quarter of play. 3 quarters in the books. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now in Houston. It's been a very hotly contested game to this point. Just a field goal separating these two teams as we get set for the fourth quarter. Now here's Rigoberto Sanchez as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. 46 on his first kick, this one in that neighborhood as well. A call for a fair catch, and it's made at about the 23-yard line. So Stroud and the Texans down 3-0, 55 seconds remaining. How will this thing pan out? We'll watch as they come up on first down. Stroud. And his throw is incomplete. Just over 50 seconds remain. Here's 2nd and 10. Now Stroud. He'll get this complete to Collins. And a good job to get him to the ground quickly right there at the 36-yard line.
Hey, you got your first down. Get up to the line of scrimmage and spike it.
This is 1st and 10. Stroud to throw it. He's got his man, Schultz, coming across the formation. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down.
For a tight end, he's got good straight line speed, and on that route, he's often the guy that gets overlooked. Nice job there finding him in stride for really good yardage.
And the clock will now stop as a timeout is called with 5 seconds left. So a big one coming here for Kaimi Fairbairn. This to potentially send us to overtime. The Colts going to use the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. So here we go. Maybe the biggest kick of the game forthcoming. This to tie things up in the final minute. And that is no good. Wide to the right. And instead of tying it up, they'll remain down by 3.
We so often think of these kickers as automatic at any distance, and it's just not the case because when you start talking about 50-plus yards, it's still a tough one to connect on. This one ends up no good, and that should put to rest any chance of this game getting to overtime.
Down to a knee goes Richardson, and that should finish off this victory. So this one winds up an Indianapolis victory, and not all W's are created equal, CD, and this one came in shutout fashion.
Well, their offense certainly didn't need to do anything, right? They could take the day off, and they did. But the defense, they carried them in a big way.
Yeah, look, the offense, obviously stuff to work on, but they did enough, and the defense carried the load.
Well, you know what they say. It's always fun to work